Chapter 1. A Friday in October. 5:50 a.m. Sikwele Road in Kwamashu seemed unusually deserted. Collins Khumalo was not a local resident, but he had used the road more than a dozen times over the previous 2 years. He thought it was a useful route for traversing Section K and following its entire 2-kilometer length eastward toward the M21, from where he had an easy drive southward to Durban. On each of those earlier occasions, he remembered having seen at least a few early morning pedestrians out and about at this time. Today was different. Was it simply the total absence of anyone out on the street, or was it the hastily drawn curtain he half noticed in the house on the left that made him think something was different? Was it the old woman on the right, at her front gate, retreating suddenly back toward her front door as Khumalo approached in his ancient white city Golf? Or was it the fact that he caught both these sudden movements at a glance at precisely the same moment he saw the smoldering remains of a fire some 20 meters ahead of him, just off the right-hand side of the road? He slowed down, not because the remnants of the fire posed any danger, but because there was something interesting about the smoking, blackened heap of charcoal spanning an area of 3 or 4 square meters on the grass verge of Sikwele Road. Somebody had thrown a shop mannequin on the fire. How can people burn junk in an open fire at the side of a residential road? He was pleased he didn't live in a neighborhood like this. The barbed wire protections perched on the walls of most of the properties seemed incongruous against the well-kept gardens, manicured lawns, and colorful flower beds. Something about it all, thought Khumalo, suggested menace lurking under an aura of peaceful domesticity. Having satisfied his curiosity about the mannequin, Khumalo was about to accelerate again when he saw a third neighbor further down the road also dash back suddenly, running from the wire fence at the front of her property back into her house. It was the speed of the movement that made Khumalo pay attention. What was she running from? Instead of pulling away from the scene, Khumalo stopped the car right alongside the smoking black coals. What was it about this fire that had produced these reactions from the local residents? He wound down his window to have a closer look. Khumalo's jaw went slack as he stared at the shape protruding from the thin wisps of smoke. He felt a pulse in his right temple throbbing as blood coursed its way through the restricted opening in the vein. He stopped breathing. He went ice cold as he made out the features of the mannequin. Not a mannequin, but a man or a woman, now little more than a blackened skeleton with minimal covering of tissue, the remaining tendons charred almost entirely to ash. The skull devoid of eyes and devoid of most of its nose and surrounding features except for a few strips of flesh and gristle. Its jaws stretched wide apart, exposing long teeth no longer protected by pink gums, but still anchored by blackened remnants of flesh. Teeth displaying a mocking smile, a grimace. A grimace that spoke of screaming agony in the final moments of a fiery death.